Hello, everyone. This is Own Wall Street with the TradersPerspective.com doing my weekend analysis. And in front of you, you have crude oil presently on the daily time frame. The tail end of this week was a little bit disappointing for the bulls. We did end up getting a bounce here at this level around 48.22. And then we tried to get a close above this 200 period simple moving average, and we failed. The next day, which was Friday, we did in fact close above the 200 barely, and then we still failed to get above the 61.8% retracement level. So, what am I seeing as far as going into the first half of this week? I would say that we still have some chop in this area between 40, let's call it 48.50 and 49.60. So that's basically the area that I expect price to kind of try to gain some kind of support. Preferably, if it could hold above this 200 every day, getting closes above, that would be ideal. But if you look to your left here, you can see that the price does typically get above it and then kind of gyrate around it. So I expect that we could see some more chop in the first portion of the week. We do have a slightly upwards bias, and so I did go ahead and draw in this trend line here, which I'm going to zoom in for you on the 4-hour time frame so you can get an idea of what I'm looking at. Let me go ahead and remove this here, make it easier to see. So here we go. We have this downtrend line I mentioned last week on the 4-hour time frame. We have been battling with the 50 period simple moving average as well as this downtrend line. Broke this uptrend line on the weekly time frame. As you all know, that's not typically good for the bulls, at least. For the bears, it's paradise. And we have been battling to get some sideways consolidation. So it appears we are at least consolidating, and we do have a little bit of an upwards bias. Um, the upside is looking like it's capped, though. I mean, we are looking at an upside of around maybe $50 in the near term. Maybe even a little higher if we can get on this trend line, so around 50, 22, 50, 50. But aside from that, I would say the bias is still down. And the reason why I say so, I'll go ahead and jump to the weekly time frame. I know it looks like a little bit of a cluster there. Let me see if I can open it up a little bit for you. There we go. So you can see here that we did bounce below this 50 period simple moving average, and we did bounce off of this trend line here, which is another area of support that was identified. But I would expect us to still test this $47 level soon. Just the way that price has been putting in lower highs on these runs, I would expect us to push a little bit lower. In the meantime, on the weekly time frame, we are pinned between my moving average here, this downtrend line, and this 50 period simple moving average on the weekly. So expect prices to kind of be a little bit choppy this first half of the week at least. And, we may get a little bit of a push again, like I mentioned earlier in the week, to about 50-25, 50-50. This downtrend line is the key. So again, going back to the 4-hour time frame, you can see what I'm talking about. I'll zoom out a little bit. So again, this downtrend line is the key. So once we do in fact break above this 200 on the 4-hour and the 50, which are bearish crossing, then we will be in business to kind of push back to the upside to test this 5150 level and this previous support uptrend line. So that's what I'm saying as far as what to expect going into midweek. I will be following up with another analysis on Wednesday evening. Usually have them up by about 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So again, this is the daily time frame. And you can clearly see here that we had, a nice little bounce off this 48.22 level. A little higher than I expected, but that's fine. I wasn't being aggressive. I'm never aggressive with my trade setups. I'm either going to get what I want, or I watch and then wait for the next situation where it's ideal for me to get in. There's no point in chasing. If you're chasing, you're late. That means you're not prepared. That means you'll probably lose. So make sure that you have a good trading strategy in place so that you avoid losses, manage your risks. I'm on Wall Street. This has been a presentation of Crude Oil. Thank you for watching.